Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is going to be a tool from Vevor. Now, they did send me this out. This is the first tool of theirs I've tried on the channel, but I am marking it paid promotion because they were nice enough to send this to me for free, but they're not paying me to make this video. I can say whatever I want to say, but they did send me this for free, so that's why I'm marking it paid promotion. And what this is a sewer inspection camera, but you could also use it for duct work or dryer duct or something like that. Basically, anywhere where you can put it and feed it, you're going to be able to see what's in there. This particular model that I got is the WP9612FT, has a 9-inch display, inputs DC 12 volt, 4.5 amps, and you can see there it is made in China. This one runs you $809, which seems fairly expensive, but it's got a lot of nice features on it. It's got some self-leveling. It also has a transmitter, even though I couldn't test that because I don't have the receiver to find it, but it will also transmit a signal so that you can locate it if that's what you want to do. So $809 is fairly expensive still for a tool like this, but if you compare it to like the professional grade, like rigids and things like that, I mean, you're talking about upwards of several $1,000s. So to me, this fits a niche of the people who are going to use it once or twice a year, 2 or 3 times a month or something like that, versus somebody who uses one every single day. And again, I got really good results with this. I'm going to show in the end. I actually went and found a clog the other day and got it cleaned out. I've got some kind of some work footage that I'm going to put in the end and show you this in action after I go through the features and things like that. So that's going to be towards the end of the video, and you'll see how good that this thing actually works. So if you're in the market for one and you don't want to spend $4,000 or $5,000, then this might be a good fit for you. But they've also got some cheaper options that don't have some of the things that this one has, so you can also check out their other ones as well. So let me go ahead and we'll get it flipped around here. So again, I did pick up the 98 footer. That's how much fiberglass I have on here as far as the lead. I picked that up because I didn't want one that had more than that. That's going to always take care of me, and I didn't want to lug around the extra weight of a really big spool of some fiberglass right there. So this is going to be fine for me. We open this up. You can see that there is a 9-inch screen right here. It is not a touch screen. It's a TFT color monitor. It's got all the controls right here. One of the things that I would suggest to them is the instructions that you get with it are not very intuitive. And then some of these buttons right here, it takes you a little while to figure out what does what. I'll show you that here in a minute. This model also comes with a keyboard right here so that you can type on the screen. Like if you want to make notes whenever you're taking a picture or something like that, you can use it for that if you want to. It disconnects USB up here into the top, and then it connects like wirelessly through that. So let me go ahead and get it changed over to a downward view so I can show you all this and then show you what you get underneath this keyboard. So from this angle right here looking down, you can see that you do get this keyboard. It pops in and out, or you can leave it in there and type your notes on there while you are filming, whether it's the video or whether it is a picture that you take. But underneath of that, that's where the storage is for everything else that's kind of included. This keyboard works with on and off switch right here, just takes regular batteries, and then it's got the dongle here that plugs into the keyboard slot. Other than that, underneath of here, you get your charging cable. It plugs in, charger in right there. You plug that into the wall. It's got a color indicator. It's green while it's fully charged, and then it turns red while you're charging it. So if I went and plugged this in, it would probably turn red. I was a little curious because let's say this sits in my garage. I'm somebody who doesn't use it very often. I didn't charge it the night before. I get a call about a clog or something like that. I want to go check it out. I did take my Milwaukee top off, plugged it in, and it did charge and also allow me to use it while it was plugged in. So you could use this kind of like a non-plug-in power source, whether you're in Milwaukee, you know, whatever other brand of tool you have. If you've got an inverter like this, you could obviously run it off that and still be like a battery powered type system as well. So you could use it for that. So you do get this charger. Other than that, you get a couple different things that you can put on the camera itself to kind of get it moved in the pipe, maybe make it move a little bit better. So you have your camera lens right here. This has 12 LEDs, has some different settings on there as far as turning the lights on and off. Let me go ahead and power up the unit, and I'll show you that as well. So now that that's on, I can go over here to this button right here, press this. It's going to turn that on. There's one setting. There's a little bit brighter. There's a little bit brighter. So it's got 3 different brightness settings. And then you press that again and turn it off. But within this, you could slide this on here. Use this again, center this in a bigger pipe. If you need to get up out of the water or something like that, there's small screws right here that you just tighten up and tighten it on there. So that's one of the attachments that you get. The other one is the one that I used in the video that you'll be watching here in a little bit. That one slides on. And again, there's little small plastic flathead screws that they provide you, a little small flathead screwdriver. You just go around, tighten all those up. That will snug it up on there and keep it on there. I didn't have any problem with that coming off once I tightened it on there. So those are the two kind of adapters that you get. You also get a couple little extra rubber band deals and probably some lens covers or something. I'm not really sure actually what this is for. I never did figure that out. And I will say that the instructions are not very intuitive. I will show you that. I'll move down here and get on the screen here. So as far as your screen and recording options and things like that, again, it has a 9-inch TFT color monitor. Very nice picture on it in my opinion. It does have a TF card slot over here. They provide you with a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, and I recorded quite a bit of footage. My battery's still full, and I have an SD card that didn't hardly get full at all, so it's going to hold quite a bit of video footage, especially if you just take pictures and things like that. So you have a power button here. That's going to turn just the screen off. Maybe you want to save some battery life while you're sitting around and you don't want to have your whole entire unit powered up. But to power up the unit itself, that's the power button right here. That turns on your camera. If you turn that one on and off, you're going to have to boot it up every time. But you can see how fast, that just turns that screen on and off. Now here's where, again, the instructions aren't very clear. So if you want to take a picture, you have a record button over here. If I just press it once, you'll see a camera come up here. That means it just took a picture. If I press and hold it, you're going to see a video camera come up there, and then also a timer. So now I am recording video. So that's how you record video. I'm going to press and hold that to stop the video recording. Now to go back in and play those, same thing with the play button. If I press play one time, it's going to go in and play any photo that I have on my SD card. And then over here you have a setting selector. Like right there is just playing the photos. So this button right here with this little arrow, that's going to go down through your options that you have over here. So if I want to delete a photo, I want to delete all the photos that I have, I want to play that one that I have. So that's more so on a video, or skip to the next one. And then you got to go back out to the main menu, selecting that. And again, if I want to get into my videos, I'm just going to press and hold the play button. Now I can get into my videos, go down and select until I get to the video that I want to watch. There's a bunch of different videos I have on here. And once I get to one that I want to play, I can then scroll back up to the play button, or down to the play button, select that, and then it will start playing this video as I recorded it. One other downside is you can't fast forward from this point in time on this actual unit. So if you want to go back and actually show a customer something right then and there, but once you take it off of this, put it on your computer, you can edit stuff however you want to, and those kinds of things. So if I get back out to the settings, we'll get into this menu. You can see your options are daylight, brightness, meters and foot, so you can go between meters and feet. Also your color options, things like that. It does give you a distance, and again, I'm going to show you all this kind of stuff here in just a few seconds in the footage that I got of a job that I actually did. But it does allow you to have the date and time on there. I haven't set mine, as you're going to see in the footage that you're about to see, but it is nice that it kind of gives you a timestamp as well. Now this does feed in and out super easy. It feeds out easier than it feeds in because it's kind of spring loaded. And again, it does have this self-leveling feature. If you can see that on my screen, no matter how I turn this, it's always going to show it kind of north and south, which is extremely handy if you've ever used one of these cameras that doesn't have that and you're in a pipe and everything's upside down, or you got to keep spinning the monitor around to make it work out. This works extremely well, that self-leveling feature does. But that's enough about the unit. Let me go ahead and kind of show you and voice over the work that I did in finding a clog and getting that unclogged, and you can see for yourself this Vevor camera in action, how it works. So I'm at a call where a customer called me. This is a 3-apartment building all on one slab, and all the plumbing goes through the entire building and comes out one end. So all the apartments are tied together. He had 2 apartment bathrooms that were backing up in the bathtub, also in the toilets. So I wanted to go through this clean out, go in, figure out what it was. If I went through anything else, I was going to be in solid water because that pipe was full. So essentially I got the camera out, started running it up the pipe. So you can see here, I've got that measurement at the top of 45 feet. That's how far I am at this point. Going past some different Ys and stuff like that. Pipe is really clean because, again, it's all backed up once I find the clog. But you can see that self-leveling in action. It's always going to look like I'm looking at the bottom of the pipe. I really like it. It works out well. Have to get past this piece of toilet paper that's kind of in the way. You can see some water coming around that. 53 feet in at this point. This isn't my clog. obviously, but that is something that's kind of in my way, but I was able to push past it eventually. And then that puts me into some water because there was water backed up behind that toilet paper. So continuing on in, 55 feet. I think my clog ends up being at 57 feet if I remember right. Able to keep pushing it through. And again, I had no problem feeding this thing all the way at 98 feet. So you can kind of see it in the background. It gets very hard to see because there's a lot of water, but you can see that big mass right there. I even tried pushing this camera through it, thinking I might could break it free with the camera. But 57 feet was more than anything I have. I don't do a lot of mainline sewer cleanouts. I mostly do one pipe. I tell a customer usually if it's one thing that's clogged up, I can typically fix it. I don't have the equipment for the other. So I went back inside thinking, well, it's going to be closer to this clog than what it is that main. I ran my M12 drain snake down through the tub. Never got a hold of anything. Tried that. So then I kicked that out. Decided to go with my air snake. Popped it a couple times into the toilet, seeing if I'd get lucky and pop that toilet paper free, but you can see it's just spewing out of the overflow over there, and it wouldn't have done any good had I clogged that up. There's just so much water and so many different Y's in this system that it was going to be very, very hard to push out all that toilet paper. So I tried it a couple times, no avail on that, so I gave up on that. Then the customer had a bigger snake that was longer, so he brought that to me. It's still a small snake though as far as diameter cable. So I tried that from the outside, just hoping I wasn't gonna have to pull the toilet up. And so you can see that through here. I also put the camera right in there with it. And this is where I think one of these is extremely valuable, because if you see right here, my cable is going down a Y. I would have never known that had I not had this camera and I was just going to sit there and feed that. I needed it to go straight right there. So again, if you have a camera like this, you can kind of see where you're going if you're in the right spot. So I ended up changing the end on it, pulled the toilet, ended up going down through the toilet. Here's the clog from the backside. So I took the camera, fed it from the clean out, looking at that clog, but I'm also feeding my drain cable in from the other side. I've got somebody out there watching the camera telling me whenever I get to it. He said, hey, you just went past it, pull it back a little bit. So then I pulled it back, end up getting right into that toilet paper, and you're going to see here in a minute that I'm able to break that free. So again, this is just super nice that you can basically get your snake right on where you need to be instead of just guessing. I mean, there's no way to know that where I would be at without having this camera in there. I mean, it was phenomenal. I couldn't have probably even done this job had I not had this camera. So again, it just depends on yourself, how useful something like this would be. You know whether or not you use this very often, but I eventually get that broke free. The water starts coming through pretty hot and heavy once I get it broke free, so you're not going to be able to see anything. But here in a minute, you're going to see me pulling the cable out and the big gob of toilet paper chasing me. So I ended up getting out of there. And then whenever it was all said and done, I went back in. So this is after the fact, after I got it cleaned out. We ran the tub, flushed some toilets, cleaned out the pipe. I'm just going back through to show the customer, hey, I've got your pipe cleaned out. So I'm at 41 feet right now. And again, that's a super handy thing too, to know how long it is, because once I knew I was at 57, the longest cable I had was 50. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to reach it from outside. There wasn't even any point of trying that. But as I go down through here, again, super clean. This is very valuable to be able to show the customer this, that, hey, you had a clog at 57 feet, and now I'm going back through here, and now you don't have a clog anymore at 57 feet. It's just super nice. But you can see that everything's clean. The self-leveling's working good. The light on it works good. You can see everything inside this pipe. Getting past this last little Y here. I think I might go a little bit past wherever I was just because I was checking it out, making sure there wasn't anything kind of stuck behind the clog that had gotten backed up. But overall, this camera just made that super easy. But there you go, guys. There is the Vevor WP9612FT, the 98 feet version with the keyboard. Also has that transmitter. Again, I couldn't test that out because I don't have a receiver, but this says that it sends a signal if you have a locator that can find it, type of thing, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, $809 is expensive for a tool at any point in time. I don't care who you are, but if you compare this to if you go out and spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, if you're someone who's not going to use it very often, but again, you only know that, you have to decide for yourself, will this make me enough money back that it's a good investment for me to pick up. Because again, that clog that I ended up getting out, I would have never been able to do it in the way that I did without a tool like this. So it comes in extreme handy for certain situations. You know, if you run into that very often, whether or not this might be a good fit for you. But let me know in the comments below if you've run this type of camera, especially one from Vevor or from any other brand that you absolutely love that has similar features, what kind of experience that you've had with those kinds of things. Drop that in the comments below so that everybody can make the best informed decision that they can. As always, I hope this video was helpful in some way. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.